Good morning, folks. It's 7:10 a.m. on the 19th day, 7th month of 2025. I'll double check my sound settings here, just make sure everything is up to par. Yep, I can go with that. Right, a bit of a beaming event going on. I've got Alice Springs just fired up that direction. We have a station over here that's fired a eyebrow beam straight down, pop, pop. And it's going to put a heated flow on this corner down here that's going to force things up and around. It's going to make things a bit volatile for the bike. Uh, Queensland, you got a rain event coming over the weekend. It's all been well set up by this as well. Oh, excuse me a minute. Let me close it with you. That's a bit unnecessary noise in the background here. Right. So I'm going to go over a bit of this, and that ain't like a glitch because it shows up a really good shot of this one here, actually. And I'll stop it right about here, and let's get a good shot of this beam that went down here through this direction. Excuse me, I'm looking for a particular timestamp. If we could get Mr. Squiggles out here. It had a very visible effect on the clouds, this over here. Oh, I don't know where my pen went. I'll just have to throw it with the mouse. Oh, there it is. If it's charged. Right down here, we've had a beam come out like this, pulse like that. We've had one come down here from Alice. She's actually, I don't know why she's not going very. It tripled up, and it really just honed right in on Alice Springs. We have a station right about here that's pulsing. It pulsed up and down, and it put a heated flow that's going to take stuff in through here and get you guys very, very wet. We have a beam sweat here, backing moisture up, so things come here, they slow down there, which drops their condensates with a big beam that come down through New Zealand. This is well held, this one right here, actually. And you can see it pretty well on the sat view, how the EMF actually has this held with three beams honing it into New Zealand. And the one was out here. And so it's really going to slow that down as it comes over the island as well, bringing the wetness. Is that? Yeah, I just thought I'd give you a quick forecast before I dive into the job situation that I have to deal with here now. So that's some of the beaming that's going on, and I believe it was this area here has a ship, and this area here has a ship, right? And that area there has a ship. And they're doing their thing, creating a flow boundary that directs the tropics either towards the north. That's a shaving beam. See that coming down here? Yeah, you got. I have little names for what things are because of what they do. And when I look on NASA Worldview, he's like, oh, it's just a glitch. And I come over here. If I do a big zoom out, it's probably going to be the best. And I could just mark all you guys at once. And I'll show you how these beams will actually manifest in cloud formations themselves. And so you'll know when you look at the cloud image sometimes what's going on. Right, when you see this move here, right here. Like, I got it off of white. Hang on a minute, let's do something about that. Hi, you're just too wide. Here, but no. No, it's even wider. What the fuck? Hang on a minute. I'm not happy with something, so I'm going to fix it. Then I'm going to verify that this is actually running. That should be a bit far. Should be thin enough. See that eyebrow beam right here? It does like this. And it's because the air is pushing down. It's rolling through a big waveform like that. Is actually causing condensation inside this field of influence there. You get a second one forming in here like that. And New Zealand, you got another one. You got one right off your coast down here. It's a shaving beam. Remember I said they had you fully locked? Here's beam one, sweat, right? The storm out here is very dramatic looking, right? That beam that came down, it actually nucleated condensates, separation lines. You can actually see it pretty well when if I zoom in on you a bit. It'll become more evident. Let's double check something. Yes, we are running like diarrhea, skyarrhea, skyarrhea, leading to much verbal diarrhea. Right? See this plasma line here? Right, you know you've been beamed. It's a heated outflow boundary, and most likely caused by a station. See where these lines are meeting here? Right there. It was that Invercall has a super darn antenna, and this here, you see where it's held. Right, look at the condensates. It's blown a line out all the way across the Tasman Sea. Right, all the way across the Tasman Sea. Doot, doot. So where's the main lines coming, you must ask? And again, you got another eyebrow beam there, and it's blown out the condensates. So really, the squeeze is in to bring everything right through here. Where you're going to see your heaviest falls, right there. That's what the flow lines say in your sky based on chemtrails and EMF. And when you look in on this thing, come on, it's almost like a star. It's not a circulation where it goes in circular. You know, we're seeing squares turning squares. A whole lot of squares add together to make a star. Kind of like that. You'll see it when you look inside. And inside there, you got another one. These are not normal storms. Well, normal's average, but this is not Mother Nature storm. These are the motherfucker storms. Even it looks very diabolical, doesn't it? So I'm going to run through what you can expect, and can expect some fair heavy rains coming through a corridor. I'll go ahead and map it out for you. Yeah, let me do someone's homework for them. Oh, look, you got that up there. Well, that ain't helping much. Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. It may look like not much now. But you see this here? That set a boundary up. So this side here of that line is going to have some volatility. In that whole pocket through here, I'm expecting some fair totals, and it's going to pin things right through here. So, Rocky, Yapoon, I'm expecting flash floody type conditions for you over the weekend. The rains are only going to last about 36 hours. The Bruce all the way up from Rocky past Ogmore and up the peninsula. I'm also expecting much problems. I'm expecting fair heavy rains along here. I'm expecting see this square right here? This side of that line, right in here, heavy rains. Heavy rains. Right through there, here, I'll give you a red. Heavy, heavy, heavy rains. But it'll come quick and go, and the wind's going to be a factor in land. You're already starting to see some of the visibility in this area here coming down. That's telling me some of the dust is on its way towards the cities. And this big abomination crap here over the Canberra area is clearly toxifying your sky. You have a very, very toxic look to your air today at both countries. And I would have issued a toxic air alert if I'd have been up earlier. Just so you guys know that this is one of those days that over an entire, one of the largest cities in Australia here. Right there. Right? That ain't no good. That ain't no good. That ain't no good at all. That ain't no good. See that line? See the EMF pin and everything? So when things come ashore, the only gap is right through there. Right? So you guys drop the condensates on you. You get the winds. You get the extra chem. You get more fallout from this crap that's in the sky. So there's your eyebrow beam right there. Is what I called it for years. Yes, isn't it hilarious? I don't know what just disappeared over there, but it was probably a screen I needed. Let's see if we can bring it back. Bring it back. Yeah, that's one I needed. And as I look offshore here, I mean, how many squares you've got going on? How many? The circulation even to look in the center. It's not circular. It's just not. This is geoengineering. And I'm not too concerned about that one. Coming ashore and do anything, because this EMF block here is clearly to walk everything around the corner into the bite, right? So over look at Bremer Bay, right? Toxic air. Look at these pellets of something. Vaporizing something. They're giving off the vapors. God only knows what's in it. We deserve an honest answer to this. It is not a conspiracy for me to notice something wrong. It's who's covering it up is a conspiracy, right? You don't get mad at the cameraman for when you get caught doing something wrong in public. I should get mad at you for doing something wrong, right? Well, this is going on in public, okay? This ain't the kissing cube of a Coldplay concert. This is a very cold play by the deep state over here, Halls Creek, and those were chemtrails you saw. They spread out very wide, and it probably added a really metallic taste to your mouths that you don't need. It's bad enough with all the mining discs. Look at this crap over this beautiful sea. Can't tell me it isn't affecting all life. You may have a clear day today, but it ain't going to stay that way. I'm expecting some very heavy chem starting tomorrow to make this event happen for Queensland. So I'm going to roll through some of that now and let you see what is going on. Yeah, this is when it's going to happen. So I'm going right to meat and potatoes on this on the 23rd. Right, because for now, it's just the goings on of the weather is for Tassie. So, okay, let's do it. I'm sorry, I was just deciding what order to show things. A little bit of Jingle Bells action there for your mountain areas and higher elevations, Tassie. Wet and cold. I bet it's called winter, perhaps. And about here is when it starts to walk the corner. Okay, so I have to get you on screen. Get a little bit of wetness is coming there or for through the hours of Sunday and into early Monday morning. And I do expect that to continue through most of your day on Monday. Fair rains. Okay, so you're going to pick up probably about 3 to 4 centimeters of rain during that particular batch that comes in just then. Yeah, there's no sense in me putting their tolls on if I tell you. And then, here she comes. Big slammer for the Radelaide area. The main batch of the moisture in the low is going to go over there. It's going to rock against Tassie and come straight down. And so it's really hitting that wall of EMFs, just guiding its dynamics of chem and its dynamics of temperatures and its moisture. Okay? I have to come over there and give you a bit of fresh powder for the mountainous areas. The totals are going to be fair high actually. That when it comes on the suddens, like when Perth gets its bit tomorrow, you're picking up a few centimeters. But I just told you what I said. And what they say and I say might not be the same thing. Like I said, about 4. There's going to be some heavier pockets, and I think they're going to be more towards the northern side of the city, because you have to put heat up there to fold it and to get into a less dense area down here. So they're going to have to do a push from up there, which is going to collide some condensates. And that's why I'm disagreeing with some of these totals. But as we get into the weekend, yeah, I'm very concerned for Queensland itself up here. It's very volatile. So I'm going to go to that now and get you over towards the Wednesday of it all. As they're working a tendril over. When you hit the EMF like they did, it does have an effect to shave some of the river moisture down. And that beam right here ain't helping, right? Because it puts a block right about there, which causes water to come in into Carpentaria, which we clearly see some chem already starting to wick some of the moisture into the air up here. Some of this chem. It's very, very obvious. The EMF causing the flow boundaries, Right turn, Clyde, kind of a thing. I think they're running a square wave today. It's what I'm seeing with my eyes. Sine wave dynamics, square wave dynamics are different, aren't they? Say yes. Just say yes. And say, because that's just how that works. How you looking for a big pocket of wets over here, Canberra? That could come right down on the capital at any time. But it looks like the condensates are going to drop on this side of the mountains as the flow is coming up this direction here. So I am expecting some fair winds to result when it butts up against those. Oh, Yeah, it's like almost 10 centimeters there north of the city, and the city itself of Melbourne there is in the Coppington zones. Have you been warned that you're having what I call the wet weekend? Like this is a Friday at let's see if we can get the times down. Probably about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then the wet starts, and it goes and it goes and it goes, and over a 24-hour period, man, you're getting good totals. And so I am expecting some flash flooding and some. So make sure your drains on your road are all clear, that kind of thing, And you got time to go to the store now because I don't think everybody else has been told. So people that pay attention to the geoengineering will have plenty of warning to get stuff. If you're down here, you might want to have been told. The Hobart area, you're looking about 6, 7 centimeters. They're saying 8, but I'm thinking 6 and 7. You heard what I said. I don't know if I agree with them. Temperature wise, man, cold. So it's not like in the snow zone that. So, man, as far as new snows go, is it's just in the high elevations during that event. So it's going to be a rain event, and if that rain comes into contact with any snow, that snow is going to melt, and it's going to exacerbate the flash flooding situation. So I'm going to go double repeat myself like an Irishman, and for sure. And go back to the forecast stations of the devastations from the geoengineering of the nations that do not consent. We do not consent. So let's just go to the Friday, right? So the storm came through. It hit all that dust. It nucleated a huge condensate strip. It's a belly full of fucking rain, and it hits a beam line up here, and it starts to drop its water. And it's going to get electrical. I'm expecting that. So expect it. And well, they say when you least expect it, expect it. Well, sometimes when you're warned, you should expect it. So, and this is when Rocky gets its batch. It'll be oh, the early morning hours, afternoon hours of Saturday and through Saturday night into Sunday. So it's going to definitely put a hamper on your fun. But like I said, it's just going to come through and go, and the flash flood's going to run fast. So watch yourself, you poon. Watch yourself, Rocky. Especially you poon, the hillinesses of it. And then right about that time, Perth gets another batch. It's going to lead to some fair totals over the 10-day period as this wet winter continues. And the winds are going to be a big factor. When I looked at we ain't going to get into all this one. When I look into some of the highest gusts to be expected during some of these events, this ain't a nice time to be going across the desert. When you're worried about gusts of over 80 kilometers an hour, right? And if I look at the 10-day period here, some of your gusts are over 100. I'm in some of these areas. Yeah, look at this. This is some devastating winds that some of you guys are going to get. Yeah, look at this Hobart just north of you here, or wherever that is. Now, you don't want to be up in the mountain on that one, huh? Yes. We have to be very wary of the wind, I think, because that's what goes after the high-sided vehicles, the campers and old sheds. See that 99-kilometer-an-hour gusts to be expected. And you just keep going backwards on the graph till it disappears. So that's this event bringing it in is about to have big winds. And so we'll be watching out for that, won't we? Because where the chem bombs go, it's easy to know. Right? It's a big scalar square action there. It shows you the corridor where they're going to get wet is right through here. Right through there is the flow line. And so it's to be expected. When it hits this batch of condensate here, she's going to drop some rain. That's an initial setup. Because when that cools down, it'll act like a bit of a suction. Or it'll pull air towards itself. And the steps here are telling you something. See them? Going down the coast. It's telling you the whales ain't very happy jumping in the air. Maybe they're trying to jump out of the water because it's too damn loud now. Like there's a speaker on down there of an unruly neighbor called Homo sapiens. They're a parasite on this planet, I think. And we'll still have a chance to do something about that. Because as I look at these vapors of chem being nucleated into condensates over the desert here into a plasma cloud, I know that the plasmas in our bodies are being formed as well. They're from the metals that we're breathing. And I think I've turned off my sat view so we won't look at it. Yeah, you guys got chemmed all this shit, and that's your forecast. That's how it's going to go. New Zealand, I'm still accurate. I don't want to really change up on you guys too much from yesterday. But I wanted to show the toxicity of the air because I care. And this is falling out on you. You're breathing this. And it's very easy to turn this into an aurora, make these chemicals glow. And you're seeing auroras going so far inland now, people think it's natural, but it's not. They're doing an experiment called sky glow, and the people do this own the news to tell you that it's not going on. Well, guess what? The murderer lies about the murderer, the thief lies about the theft, and the geoengineer is lying about geoengineering. That is all. Big love. Stay safe. Peace.